Hello students, today we are going to learn about memory enhancement and learning techniques. Before we get into techniques, let us first try to understand the process through which a memory goes from sensory input to long-term memory. All the information that we receive is received through sensory input. It could be through one of the senses, the sense of seeing, hearing, touch, taste, or smell. The sensory information that we don't pay any attention to gets lost and forgotten forever. However, the information that we pay attention to goes into short-term memory. And we are able to remember that information for a short period of time. However, if we want to make a memory permanent, we will have to rehearse it. We will have to repeat that information in our minds or out loud so that it enters our long-term memory. And again, if we stop rehearsing it and we don't use it, the information will be lost and we will not be able to recall it. Now, let us try to understand some ways in which we can improve our memory and the learning process itself. Two of the most common methods of turning a short-term memory into a long-term memory are repetition and writing. However, if we want to retain the information in the best possible way, we must follow certain time periods at which we must repeat the information. This can be clearly seen in this chart, where we see that 80% of the information that we have memorized is retained after one day. That means 20% of the information is lost. So the first repetition must be after one day, that is 24 hours. The next repetition has to be around 3 days from the original time of learning. And the next repetition must be at around 6 days or about 1 week. And then after that, it should be spaced out further so that we can retain the information and we don't have to repeat it every day. Now, let us look at some other methods of memory enhancement. One of the common methods is called abbreviations or acronyms. We use abbreviations in our everyday life. For example, in mathematics, we use abbreviations like cm for centimeter, ft for feet, in for inch, kg for kilogram, etc. For directions, we use N for north, S for south, E for east, and W for west. Likewise, when we are referring to time, we use HR for hour, MIN for minutes, SEC for seconds, and so on. Likewise, there are many other abbreviations that we use to remember many things. The next method is the use of mnemonics. Herein, we use different phrases or sentences that are easy to remember to use some complicated formulae or some other facts. For example, here, to remember these formulae in trigonometry, that is in mathematics, we can use something, a phrase like Pandit Badrinath Har Har Bole. Or we can use something like Vibjor to remember the 7 colors of a rainbow. Or we can use something like eat an apple as a snack to remember the names of the different continents. Likewise, we can use a mnemonic like my very educated mother just served us noodles. This can be used to remember the names of different planets in our solar system. The next method of enhancing our memory is called chunking. In this method, we can chunk different ideas into groups. A good example of chunking is the use of mind maps. As you can see here, we have made a mind map using air. Air has different components, like if we talk about oxygen, it is 21% of the atmosphere. and carbon dioxide is 0.035%. And likewise, there is water vapor and rare gases in the air. Now, there are other properties of these gases that are also shown in the same groups, and you can make your own mind maps just like this one. It is always helpful if you make your own mind maps, and that mind map will be helpful in retaining information much better than if you use someone else's mind map. Apart from this, there are some other lifestyle habits that you can inculcate in yourself that will help enhance your memory. The first thing that you can do is to always pay attention at what you are listening or what you are seeing. Paying attention is the first step in memory formation. Therefore, it's vitally important. The next thing you can do is to get a good night's sleep. A rested mind is much more capable of retaining information. Likewise, if you have good time management techniques, you can always make time for repeating the information that you need to remember. And that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you very much.